Hello everyone and welcome back to Georgia Paper Crafts. Today I am making a slimline card using the Hero Arts and Gina K collaboration stamp called Friendship Blooms. I'm going to start by stamping out the image, and I'm going to use my Misty to help me get a perfect stamp of this, because obviously I probably will need to stamp it a couple of times. This is my first time using this stamp. I am using the VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink, and this is a watercolor friendly ink. And I'm just trying to stamp this on some Bristle Smooth cardstock. I like to use Bristle Smooth cardstock when I'm coloring with my Tombow markers, as I think it gives a better blend. However, I do have to be cautious because this is not a watercolor based paper, so it can't absorb or tolerate a lot of water on the paper. And the piece that I cut down to stamp this on is about probably 9 by 4. My finished slimline card is going to be 3.5 by 8.5, but I did cut this a little bit bigger just to give myself some extra room. Once I'm finished stamping that and I feel good with the image, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some clear embossing ink, not ink, but clear embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. This is the Icicle embossing powder, and this is just clear, and it's going to stick to the VersaFine Claire Nocturne black ink just as it remains sticky for a little while. And I'm going to get it all coated, and then I am going to heat it up and melt it. And that's just going to give me a nice little edge and a shine to the image when I begin to color. And moving on to the coloring, as I said before, I'm using some of my Tombow markers, and I will list the specific colors that I use down below. They will be listed with the numbers. And what I like to do is just put a little bit of the color down and then pull it out using just a touch of water in my brush. So sit back and just watch me do this. I'm going to put on a little bit of music, just relax and enjoy the coloring. I'll be back with you as soon as I'm done. once I'm finished with this, I'm going to go ahead and score a piece of black cardstock. This is a piece of black cardstock that measures 7 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it down the middle at 3.5. Then I'm just kind of looking at my piece that I colored, and I'm going to cut that down to fit with just a little bit of a, enough that it'll have a little bit of a black border. So once I've done that, I'll add some foam tape to the back, and I'll get it adhered onto the card base, I should say. I'm going to add a piece of white cardstock to the inside so that a note can be written. Then I'm going to bring in the die. This is from Spellbinders, and it's a hello die, and it has the backing, which is not quite a shadow, but somewhat of a shadow. I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of gives it a outline look. And I've cut it out of 2 pieces of black cardstock, 2 pieces of goldish, bronzish cardstock from Holtz, and a piece of red metallic cardstock from Holtz. I put all that together, and we're going to see how it looks. It kind of gives that black, kind of pops the metallic cardstock off of the page. So I'm going to adhere all that right to the middle there. Put a little bit of something heavy on it just to help keep it down. I'm going to add some gems. These are some raspberry gems from Pretty Pink Posh. And just kind of add those around. And that'll complete it for this card. Now, I also did buy the die set from Trinity Stamps that makes the slimline envelope. So here you see I'm making the slimline envelope. I cut this out of 1 piece of 12 by 12 cardstock that I had in my stash. I believe it's from Coordinations. I probably got it at Michael's. So you cut out 2 pieces, 2 side pieces, which you see right there. I'm adhering 1 right to the side, and again, the die pre-scores it to where you need to fold it for the flaps so that you can add it like that. And the bottom, you cut 2 of the side pieces, 1 of the middle, 1 of the top, and 1 of the bottom. And you see me adhering it here. You can adhere this with any kind of adhesive you want. Of course, I wanted to use some double-sided adhesive just to help make sure that it stays together. Once I'm done with that, I am going to put I'm going to add the upper piece. This is the, I would say, the opening to the card here. And I'm going to put a piece of double-sided adhesive on the inner portion right here because I'm going to put the flap over it. You see what I mean? Close it up, close the bottom. Use another piece of double-sided adhesive. And that's it. And you'll see how it fits in there. Fits beautifully. And I'll need to use some adhesive when I do go to close it. Love that die set. So anyway, here is my first attempt at a slimline card. I truly enjoyed making these. I know I'll be making a bunch in the future. I hope you liked it and got some inspiration. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you come back real soon. Bye.